What's good, King?
King. Back at it.
You already know, man. Blessings, man.
Blessings to you, man. You and the fam.
You
Glad all
already
is
know,
well.
Man. Sending good energy. You know what it is.
I'm taking it. I'm taking all good energy. Anybody else want to send good energy, please comment your good energy in the comment box. I'm taking all good energy. I ain't shying from none. Give me all that.
That's all I do, man.
And send us some back your way.
I receive it. You already know that's how we operate. That's how we vibe, man. High frequency, man. Good energy, King.
Yeah.
No.
That's funny because this platform, which I'm going to probably turn to my official podcast, I just haven't been intentional about it.
Okay.
I've been doing
I'm on it.
Yeah, called Money Church Monday, right?
Okay.
And so Money Church Monday is not about like a religion. Money Church Monday is about the spirituality of economics, right? And I call it how to live rich in real life.
Nice.
And rich not meaning like the bag, really. Rich meaning like currency, meaning frequency, like vibrations, you know? So I believe on our quest to be legacy builders and get to the bag is a certain, like, we can get to the bag and live low frequency. You got a bag, but you live in low frequency in your life. Or we can get to the bag and be living high frequency, high vibrations.
That's what we on, man.
That's all we on.
Yeah, high frequency, man. I even, before we get into that, though, every night before I go to sleep, I listen to it's 432 high frequency waves. I listen to it, man. And then, it helped me sleep good. And I get up and I be like, damn, I be feeling good when I get up. Man, yeah, you need to check that out, man. It's called 432. Yeah, it's high frequency waves, man. It help us like operate on a higher frequency, man. It mellows us out. It help our brain function. It help us like operate, man. It's real dope, man. Somebody put me on it. I've been doing it for like the last like 6-7 months, man. I'm telling you, King, like
you can feel it.
The way I go to sleep and the way I wake up, I'll be like, damn, like
I need that.
Yeah, you need that. Check that out.
I'll be going to sleep kind of heavy sometimes.
Yeah, it's because we do so much. It's because we do so much. We so interactive. We laying so many foundations down, and then we talked about this before about how much weight on our shoulders from what we doing, the way we operate, from our life, from our king, from our queens, from our daughter, from your daughter. We talk about this. So you always need something that's going to, just give you that boost of energy. You know what I'm saying? Outside of you eating right and doing this. So yeah, man, 432HZ, it helps me a lot on my journey. So definitely tap that out, man.
Say no more. That's something I Google to tap into? Or
yeah. So I get mine. So, I don't know what kind of phone you got, but I have the iPhone, so I can just pull it up on my iPhone, but it's definitely on Google as well. You can get it on Google.
Yeah, I'm on iPhone. I'm straight blue. I'm straight blue on my text thread. I'm blue all day.
For sure, and I see that in mine. So yeah, I'll send it to you. Man. It's definitely something dope to get on, man.
Say no more. So as we got everybody on, I want to, until, we got a nice crowd here right now on the live stream. I want to get off the rip. I want to give everybody this class that we're doing, this free class that we're doing this Saturday. I don't want to wait to the end. Ain't no surprises. We want them to be able to tap in off the rip. So I'm going to type it in and pin it right now. Yeah. Guys, we got a free class, free online class.
It's a fact.
Right? Yeah, real estate versus stocks.
Yeah.
Right? All food for your soul. And it's crisisclass.com. I'm typing in my thing right now. So all y'all can register this Saturday. Let's see. Saturday. Yeah. What's that date this Saturday? I forgot.
Don't make me lie, man. You know I ain't gonna know.
I don't even know. Who's smart to know this Saturday's date? Let me know real quick.
Don't make me lie
real quick. Right. I'm guessing like a rug.
And we letting y'all know, man, it's a free class. And when the king said real estate versus stocks, we're not competing. We just showing y'all how you can build your wealth from both avenues. You know what I'm saying? We know the king is, he got a full plate when it comes to real estate. He gonna tell us he 18 years in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He gonna bless us with his knowledge. And I've been in the game for a while. I've been the front runner when it comes to just putting us into the stock market. So we just gonna show y'all how you can use both platforms to build your wealth, because now it's the greatest generational wealth shift that we've ever been a part of. So we all need to tap in, whether it's stocks, whether it's real estate. We just need to get this game. So I definitely appreciate you, coming to me and we being able to put that together the way we put it together. It's like, man, look, let's feed the people. Let's do that. So y'all definitely need to check into that. I'm going to clear my schedule so we can do this Saturday. So y'all better be in here.
Yeah. Lock in. So everybody is right there. It's crisisclass.com. It's free for you to register, to tap in, to King Leon and I, King Trapp and I. Right. We're gonna bring you the game again. Just showing us the two biggest wealth building vehicles in the world: real estate and stocks. Stocks is businesses, like the two biggest wealth building vehicles in the world. We're gonna really give y'all some real expertise on, how we can interchange those worlds and be and be active in this market and prepared for the next trends of the market and know how to ride the waves and the trends, but not just on the stock guy side, not just on the real estate guy side, but how we can be versed in both worlds. 4420, you guys pull up on us, crisisclass.com. All right, so we're going to do that. So everybody knows that. Now, King, as we get into that, I had this, one of my, I think probably my next book, but one of my kind of classes I've done is called How to Beat the Trap, right?
Okay,
right? So
I like that.
Yeah, that's one of my kind of things, right? So we did a nice How to Beat the Trap class. So I did a class like maybe a year and a half ago. I had 4 whiteboards on stage. I'm teaching on 4 different boards, right? I'm writing it out. Also, so I defined the trap in like 4 or 5 different ways. So I define a trap as the corner trap, right?
Okay.
The original trap, the corner
original trap, 100%.
The street corner trap.
Right.
And I was funny. I was talking to my little brother. He's 30 years old, right? He's 9 years younger than me. He came up under me, but he was a professional basketball player, went to college, graduated, entrepreneur, never had to touch the block because, you was I did that. So hopefully you ain't got to go through that.
Facts. Right. 100% bars.
So my brother heard me and you live stream. He like, yo, y'all like some real 80s trap boys. Like to him, it's like, it's not foreign to him.
Yeah.
It's of a different culture, right? When we talk that trap talk.
That language.
That language, right? So, all right, we got the corner trap. And there's some people that relate to that 80s, 90s, early 2000s trap, right?
Trap
some still in the mix right now, right?
Yeah.
And some people like, I hear the songs, I get it, but I don't understand and relate. But there is another kind of trap, which we call the college trap. Now, the college trap is to go to school, get good grades, right? And get a job. Well, actually get a good job, go to college to get a good job, and you rack up all this student loan debt, and there's hope and there's fantasy that just because I went to college and I racked up the student loan debt, I'm guaranteed to get some kind of job. And everybody came out like, oh shit, it ain't as guaranteed as they made it seem. I'm working at Macy's or Foot Locker now when I want to be a biology major, right? Or something. So it's the college trap that really gasses us up to not go to school for a career, but go to school because it's the thing to do. Not like, you know what I mean? So I believe in education. I just believe you get educated on whatever it is you're passionate about and you're excited about, and learn that vocation, that technique, that trade. Don't just go to school in general if your end goal is to leave out with some revenue. I mean, you might be well educated, but you just go, right? Yeah. So I believe in niche specialty education, even like master's degree back, right? Boom. So college trap. Then you got those who are in the corporate trap. The corporate trap is that's to go to school, get good grades, and get a job, a good government job, right? And just relying on some retirement 40 years down the road. And many people have found that has been like a dead end road as well. So the trap just being all the dead ends, right? Whether it's a street corner, blow money fast, dead end. It's a college, rack your student loan debt up, dead end. The corporate, get a good job, dead end, right? And then you got the correctional trap, those who come home from the pen and they just keep going back to the cycle, right? Yeah. And they go to prison and they don't learn anything new in prison, and they find themselves going right back in the same trap, in the same cycle. 100%. So we got these different traps. So what I want to give everybody game on tonight as they prepare for this Saturday's class, me and you, Stocks versus Real Estate, Saturday, 4/4/20, right? Online class. I think it's like 1:30 Eastern, something like that. All right. Everybody register online, crisisclass.com. So as we get into that, I want to ask you some trap advice, right? Okay. So if someone is, let's pick a different trap. Someone's coming out of, let's say, the corporate trap, right? Or someone's in the corporate trap right now. They're in a 9-to-5 rat race right now, corporate trap. And they might got their 401k, they might got that or whatever, but they don't really know what it is. They just signed up because it might have been a matching program or it was just a thing to do, right, for the business.
100%.
Tell me and tell us, how can those stuck in the corporate trap? We'll get to the corner trap in a minute. We're gonna leave our corner boys out.
For sure. We trapping.
Right, we trapping all day, trapping all the traps.
Right.
So tell me, how can someone, and what can excite someone that's in the corporate trap? How can they leverage the strategies we're gonna be teaching this Saturday for free? How can they leverage some of these strategies to make their way out of the corporate trap? How can someone use stocks to start to build their way out of the corporate trap? What some basic strategies?
Cool. So I'm glad you asked that, and because that's just what helped me get from the corner trap. You know what I'm saying? That's what helped me get from that trap, and it helped me get from the recidivism trap, which is going in and out of prison, in case some people don't know. You know what I'm saying? This is what helped me. So what happens is, the first thing we got to realize is that didn't happen to us overnight. Right? It didn't happen to us overnight. It was something, that dialogue that was fed to us was a dialogue that said this not race of people, but this wealth section of people will benefit from you understanding this dialogue, which is the corporate trap, right? And so that had to be in place. So we got to start doing this. What I love about the stock market is, now you are able to say, okay, let me take my job and make this job now my biggest investor. Let the job now be the plug that introduces me into another plug, right? So what the job does is, the job is one plug who says, here's the money where you trade in time for money. So we know one thing: in order for us to free ourselves, we have to stop doing that, right? That has to be the first thing we stop doing, is trading time for money. So now we say, okay, if I'm going to stop trading time for money and I know I can't get another 24, how do I now take the money from this job and elongate my time? So you take the money from the job and you put it in the stock market. So now, let's say you're working 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day, whatever that corporate trap consists of. But when you come home on that drive home, or when you at home sleeping, while your money is in the market, it is working for you, right? It's working for you at all times. So now what happens is, your money becomes the soldier that never needs a day off. Your money becomes the soldier that never need a lunch break. Your money becomes the soldier that never needs a vacation time. So now what happens is, you extended your working time, but your money is doing it for you, right? So this is one way how we take the money that we're working, we put that in the stock market, in a business that is always working. Because what we do understand is, for every era of the world, whether it's when Steve Jobs created the iPhone, whether it was when Jeff Bezos created Amazon, right? All of these businesses was a way that the world would transition, right? What the stock market allows us to do is say, okay, since the world is transitioning and I'm not smart enough to come up with an Amazon, then I'll just invest in the Amazon and let the Amazon buy my time back for me. Right, so $1,000 invested in Amazon 10 years ago is now worth $60,000. How much time have you bought back with $60,000 with $1,000? So if you had $10,000 invested in Amazon in 10 years, that $10,000 is now $600,000. How much of your time have you bought back with $600,000? Jay, you was just mad when I told you the other day. I said, Jay, take this play. You ain't take the play. It was $100,000 play. You was like, damn, how much time would that $100,000 have bought you? You feel what I'm saying? And you was like, you feel me? And you wasn't mad because you just played. You thought about, damn, I know what I could have did with that play.
That's all I was thinking
You feel
about.
me? It wasn't the money that it was the play I could have made with the money, right? It's the money plays. So what I love about the stock market is that's how you come from that 9 to 5, from that corporate American world. What you decide to yourself is, now you say, okay, since this is taking up 8 hours of my time, let me now start using the money from this to buy more time. Because remember, this is something I always say: the person who owns as much of his time is the person who can build more wealth. He or she who owns the most time can create the most wealth. Because I own my whole 24, I have 24 hours now, so to continuously free myself. right? So because you have to go to work for 8 hours or 10 hours, so now you have 14 hours you have to try to free yourself, right? And so you take away sleep, you take away, time you got to cook, you take away time you got to be with your kids. So now you may have 3 hours to try to free yourself, right? So now every dollar that you invest now becomes an hour that you add on to your life, to add on to your freedom. So every investment you make from your corporate job now adds on to your freedom. So that's how you can leverage yourself from your corporate job, from the corporate trap. And then you have to give yourself a time frame. What am I trying to do? Okay, what is my freedom price, the price it takes for me to be free? And now what is the time span? See, we can't get discouraged because it doesn't happen overnight. We have to understand what the freedom price is, right? The freedom price is the price that we have to pay your bills and, to do the things that you need. This is your freedom price. So if your freedom price is $3,000, then that's it. If your freedom price is $8,000, then you need to see, where do I need to trim the fat at? So you got to start trimming some fat, right? You trim the fat, you get rid of the residue, because the residue makes the work bad. Come up with a number like, this is my freedom price. This is the number I need. And so now you start working toward that freedom price.
Reverse engineer.
Engineer it, King.
Work backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some of the same strategies we have on the financial side in general, but on the real estate side is we call it your dream life expense sheet. And we literally have people go through and look like, all right, we could take one. One is your like you said, your freedom price, your exit price. So that's what do I need to make right now?
Right.
Just to be able to cover my bills, break even. Right. So how much is that? 7,000 a month, 3,000 a month, right? That number. And now you start working backwards. So how do I get these kind of returns, right? Stocks, equity appreciation, residual income from rents, dividends, right? These different things that bring in us different revenue that is essentially remove us from having to exchange our time for money, dollars. 100%. Then we can do what we want to do. We could do what our passions are, or create more wealth. More time with family, all of that, right? 100%. So real estate and stocks are two dual vehicles of that. And so one of the biggest things we've done in the past with our Wealth DNA kit, I'm gonna try to get everybody that who joins the Saturday class. We have a Wealth DNA kit that basically gives you a weekly budget, a monthly budget, an expense tracker, and this Dream Life expense sheet that basically just allows somebody to look at, because many of us don't even hold an accurate, up-to-date monthly budget to really know 100%. What is our freedom price?
What is the price? Right.
And what does our freedom cost us? And so when we boil down what our real true expenses are monthly, it gives us then that tag for us to work towards. So that's something I definitely want to work with everybody on that corporate trap. So if you don't know that part, you're going to continue to exchange hours for dollars until you can work your way.
Yeah, and that's a losing game.
Paying them hours off.
Yeah, that's a losing game right there, man. Anytime you come in, if you get comfortable with trading the dollars for hours, see, that's what happens. And this is why people are in a situation they're in now. So many people panicking. But one of the biggest things that we do is we have fallen to that dialogue, what I always said, that the trading dollars, time for money. And we got to realize that the time is the most valuable asset that we have. You know what I'm saying? It's not the money, because the money is just a tool, right? It's the time. The time is the most valuable asset. Even when I did my 10 years, when I caught my next charge, I lost a lot of money, but it was to keep me free. And I always said, if I had $1 million, I would have put the $1 million up to my lawyer, because I don't care about the money. I need the time. I don't need, you know what I'm saying? So we need to understand how important our time is and stop giving that away and stop putting so small of a value on it. I don't care if you're getting paid $50 an hour, right? Your time is not worth that. The time, right? So we need to learn how to, get back our time.
Interesting. I think everybody is seeing that now. Like with this Corona crisis, we don't, when the government say it's lockdown and it's National Guard in the streets and you got to be in the house, what's all the money in the world doing for you?
Right.
Other than what you can enjoy in your house.
Right.
Other than that, the money don't mean as much.
It don't mean. Yeah.
You're not going to the club, ain't no sparkles. Ain't no point in going to the mall, splurge on the shopping sprees. You gonna go buy new clothes and look good around your house. Like,
that's it. The Chanel bag, the Louis bag, them pictures don't look good sitting on your sofa here.
it don't mean as much, right? So money meant so much before. So boom, so we talked about the corporate trap. So what about for our college trappers, those who's like taking a shot? We come from a different era. They're taking a shot in the college trap. They may or may not get a career somewhere. They don't know how it's going to fall when they're done with college. But what can they do as opposed to just rack up these liabilities? Because right, wealth is the abundance of assets supersede liabilities. So what can they? So what can they do to start racking up on more assets so they just not accumulating student loan debt and liabilities? How can our college folks beat the college trap?
So I think for me, when it comes to college, I think that's the raw. So I was in prison from 16 to 26. So, I didn't get those college years. But I think during that time, that's your most bravest time, right? I think that should be the time where you should be saying, you should be putting a blueprint together for your life, right? Don't even go into the college trap with the mindset of this degree is going to save my life. Right? Take your own life into your own hands and say, you know what? The degree may be something, but I'm going to grab the bull by the horns, right? I'm going to grab the bull by the horns and leverage the knowledge that I have, right? I'm going to make the networks right here. That's what the college is. It should be the networking game. It should be the game where you see people, like you meet people in economics, you meet this person, that's that person. Because the thing about life is not only is the knowledge your leverage, but the relationship equity is your leverage. You feel what I'm saying? It's the reason why it's the reason why wealthy people tend to, deal with wealthy people. Is not the money plays. It's the plays where, boom, this deal just went bad. I ain't got no bread, but because my relationship equity is so good, boom, Jay. Oh, I know who this play good, man. I know Trap. Let me call Trap. This is a good play for Trap. I know he can make this play. You know what I'm saying? Let me call Sudden Cigar. I know that's the relationship equity that you need in college. So I think in college, it should be the time where you say, let me indulge in this play, right? Let me indulge in that play. Even, look, people who pay student loans, there's a stock on the stock market. That company is on the market. So you can leverage yourself by investing in them. You know what I'm saying? Right. So there's multiple ways. I think in that college era, the leverage of your knowledge and the leverage of your network is what gets you out of that trap. And that's outside of real estate and stocks. I know you're gonna have something different, King, but I think in that college phase, because you haven't been dictated to one way or another yet. You haven't been, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. You're still trying to figure it out. And that's cool, right? Don't be afraid of that. So use the leverage of the people you meet and lose the leverage of your mind and say, man, look, this is what it is, especially in college, because in college, you actually see the future, right? You actually see, like if I'm already working my corporate job, then I pretty much don't see a future because I'm stuck here. I got the blinders on like a horse. Right. But in the college world, you're like a Mustang, you're like a stallion, you wide open. Right. So you see it. Everything's a go. That's where your investment goes. Your investment should go to what you see is happening in the future. Like, what do you see coming? Not now, but in that 5 years, what do you see? You probably could have saw Amazon being Amazon when you were in college. You probably saw that. That's why even Mark Zuckerberg, his network was how he started Facebook first. It was with his college friends. Bill Gates started Microsoft with his college friends. Right, so the college network is where it's at. That's the leverage right there to the game.
I think it's important for us being intentional, the kind of folks we networking with while we're in college. 100%. So a lot of times for us, we not networking up. We try to network within, or network with our peer group in regards to what's cool, what's trending, who's the funnest person to hang out with. And we're not really being intentional about, who's the person most likely to succeed on this moment? Facts. Right? Facts. Who's going to be the next Zuckerberg? Who is the entrepreneurs? Who is the smart stock guy? Who is the real estate guy? So I think when it comes to our relationship equity, just like picking a stock or a real estate play, when you're looking at a real estate opportunity, you're looking at it for future equity, you're looking at the comps on the real estate. You look at the after repair value or the market value of that real estate. Facts. We got to do the same thing with our relationships. What's the comp? 100%. What's the comp of your friends? Yeah. What they worth on the market. Yeah. And I don't mean just as far as emotional support and like that kind of friend. I'm talking about when you talk about networking, associates, colleagues, alliances, us looking at what kind of value is this person potentially bringing to the world? What kind of value can I give them? But how from what I can pour into the relationship to where they are, how can we grow some equity and appreciation together? That's the whole thing. Do your relationships from school appreciate? Or do they depreciate?
That's it. That's what makes them valuable. That's what makes the relationship equity so good, because what happens is over time, the relationship appreciates. You know what I'm saying?
It should go up in value over time.
It should go up in value over time.
It shouldn't depreciate over time. It should like you start this relationship, y'all cool, and now all of a sudden 3 years later, y'all just smoke buddies playing a game on the couch.
Yeah, that's a relationship liability right there.
That's a depreciating.
That's a depreciating. That's a depreciating asset, man. Right. It was no good. You know Absolutely. What I'm saying? And we have to see that a lot of times what happens is we become loyal to situations, right? And we don't, understand that for this next level of my life, if this relationship can't bridge that gap, then it is no longer a relationship that I need to be attached to in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In that way. I'm not saying just don't rock with them, but I'm saying in that way, if it doesn't bridge the gap from me to the next level, then it's not somebody that I need to be heavy on the phone with or heavy, you know what I'm saying?
It shouldn't be a priority. It shouldn't be the focus of.
And we shouldn't feel bad about not having that relationship either. Because
at the end of the day, it only stagnates you. And this is your only one life. Like we don't get no redos that we know of.
No.
So if you holding on a bad weight, if you hoarding a distressed asset and it's not doing any appreciation for you or having any future of even being able to be renovated. That's different if you could pour into a friend and they're receptible to getting poured into and they have the ability to appreciate. Yeah. But if you just got a friend, colleague, associate, and they just cool being the
homie.
The homie.
The homie.
And just a regular crib, you know what I'm saying, on the market. And we ain't got no rental income from it, no appreciation from it. We can't knock it down, build something new. We can't do nothing with it. Then we got to look at other opportunities. Again, it's the opportunity cost of our time. We only get 168 hours a week.
Yeah, I remember when I first came home from a pen, and when I was, back in the hood, I just started back trapping again. One of the things I did was when I had gotten, when I had really started taking into stock serious, I used to go in the hood, if you feel on a block, and I used to talk to my homies about investing. Like I used to talk to them about it all the time, every day. Like, man, look, we doing this, man. Y'all be popping them bottles of Hen, man. Y'all need to own LVMH, man. Like they own Hennessy, man. Like y'all love going to Saks, getting the Gucci's, man. You need to own Karen Group, man. You need to own these brands, man. Like y'all, we wear Dickies all day. We need to own VFC, man. They make Dickies, Timberland, Jansport. Like we need to own that. So I remember my partner was like, man, you talk about this stuff every day, bro. Like, you serious? I'm like, I'm dead ass serious. And so it took for me to beat the pavement with it, for them to get into it. And then once they started understanding, it was like, yo, this dope right here. So what happened was the relationship equity, right? The value that I brought to the relationship was bigger than just we hustling together. We go and drink together. We go and smoke together. At this point, I added maximum value to our relationship. So when I added a maximum value to our relationship, here's what happened. The ones that gravitated to what we doing, we became closer. I didn't try to tell you stop doing what you're doing, but the ones that gravitated to what we was doing, we became closer because they became sponges for what I was talking about. The other ones, we kind of distanced ourselves because while we posted up and we might be talking about stocks, they'll be there talking about this, that, and the other. We like, bro, y'all tripping right now. We ain't even trying to hit that. Like, man.
Right.
So you dig?
Yeah, it's going to always weed itself out once you stay true to, and that's what I think for a college, somebody looking to beat the college trap. I think it's about what kind of information are you feeding yourself for your next play. Right. So why for me, I didn't go to college either, and I missed many of those years. But my mindset has always been, as I educated my brother, my sister, my daughter, even who's now a junior in college, is like, yo, my daughter's going to school for political science and Latin American studies, right? Cool. She go pursue your career. She wants to work for the State Department, right? She want to be an ambassador potentially for South America, different things. Do that. But at the same time, you got to know business. You got to know stocks. You got to know credit. You got to know real estate. So we can't use my opinion, having not been to college, but my opinion to those that are facing the college trap, who don't want to get caught in the college trap. You can't use just that education for whatever master's, bachelor's, BA, whatever you're doing. You can't use just that education to be an end-all, be-all education when there's more things going on in the world, right? Other than your niche. Like, everybody should be coming out of school, in my opinion, knowing real estate, business, credit, stocks, insurances, the fundamentals at least. You ain't got to be a Wall Street trapper. You ain't got to be a real estate trapper.
Right.
But you certainly should be knowledgeable, and you shouldn't be illiterate to how you go buy your first crib, how you go buy your first stock, understanding how these things work. And if everybody use their college years to get a little more informed outside of just what school gives them, because usually the schools ain't giving them this, if they be intentional about that, I think everybody can come out of college and make more diverse moves, right? Whether it be a crisis or not, they can make more diverse moves based on the information pool is just wider.
100%. So again, here's a dope analogy that I love, and I use it all the time. It's probably my favorite one, right? So we all know that the lion, right? And some people who've been trapping me for a while, they kind of heard this before, but I love saying it. So we know that the lion is at the top of the food chain when it comes to like living in the wild, right? So the biggest lie is telling us that the lion is the king of the jungle. Like the lion doesn't even live in the jungle. If we do our homework, we do our research, we learn that the lion lives in the safari, the gorilla lives in the jungle, right? So we know that the lion is at the king of that he's at the top of the food chain, right? So here's this thing. If the lion is at the top of the food chain, the lion never would tell the zebra, the gazelle, the antelope, the water buffalo, the lion would never tell them how to escape him. The lion would never tell them how to get away from him. Because if he did that, at the next point, he would no longer be at the top of the food chain game.
Facts.
What has to happen now is he has to now either become a vegetarian or he has to eat his own kind. Right? And so we know that's not going to happen, because if the lion did tell the zebra, the gazelle, or the water buffalo how to get away, it's a great chance that that information would be shared with the other animals. So What happens is now the lion can no longer eat. So let's put that in our perspective. We cannot expect the wealthy people to tell us how to play wealthy games, because at that point, how do they eat? Because wealthy people don't eat off wealthy people. Wealthy people eat off people with poor mindsets, right? Because they're always going to dangle something in front of your face to make you go gravitate to it. This is how you get stuck in that trap, right? So if you're stuck in that trap, you can never be a lion. You can always be a financial prey and never a financial predator. And whether you like it or not, there is no gray area. There is no gray area. You either going to be a financial prey or a financial predator. You decide. You make the decision. And you make that decision by the information you decide to put in your brain, the information you decide to water yourself with. The information is what waters your wealth, family. For every bundle or every tranche of information you gain, that information unlocks a door. The door that
information waters your wealth.
The information waters your wealth. It fertilizes it. The information fertilizes your wealth. And so all the information you intake, right, that information unlocks a door. So when you go into that door and you get exposed to some new knowledge, you like, it's a new level. So now it's another language you have. The language then becomes the tool. You know what I'm saying? So I know stocks, but I'm going to listen to Jay all day because he's going to talk this really. And then I'm going to get that information, right? I'm going to get it. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to put it in my brain. And now I have another type of language, another set of information I can water my well with. I can fertilize my well because now I'm tapped into whatever real estate knowledge I can get from him, whatever credit knowledge I can give him, whatever the value in this relationship is I get from him. I use that knowledge to fertilize my wealth, and now my wealth grows, and it's vice versa. It's vice versa. Two things just happen.
That's why I was smiling.
Yeah, two things happen here. One, the value in the relationship. So now the relationship equity is from the beginning, we understand that the relationship equity, that the relationship amongst us is an asset, right? So we establish that. And now what happens is we begin to give each other information to water the well, because there's no competition on who can be the wealthiest. The only competition, the only thing between us is how can I help my brother become wealthier, right? It's not who can be the wealthiest. How can I help my brother become wealthier? Right, that's two different ways of looking at this.
Period. Make it easy.
It's easy.
But
we identified ourselves as financial predators. Financial predators.
Knowing that we going to get it and rip somebody's head off.
Yeah. And then you become a financial predator. You eat and then you bring it back to the people and you feed the culture. Right. The thing about that is everybody not gonna want it. And so if you don't want it, then now you are saying, I'm okay with being a financial prey. And if you're okay with being a financial prey, then when economic storms happen in the world, you'll never be prepared. See, right now we going through what's called an economic storm. And this is what we know about a storm. Two things. We know a storm will happen and we know it will end. But we don't know how long it's going to last. So only the people who survive the storm is what the people who have the boots on, the people who have the all-in-the-ones on, the people who have the raincoats, the people who have, those are the people who survive the storm. The people who caught out that assed out, they're going to drown, they're going to get soaking wet, man. So you got to make the decision, man. For sure, I ain't mean to go on, but I just caught a little fire.
No, you already know how we do. When you catch, go. That's what I'm saying. Just alley you, take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it's so funny because me and you just started building, but so many of our principles are aligned. Like, I say essentially the same thing in regards to like that top 10%, that top 1%. If they gave you all, like, again, this is why school was set up, how school was set up. They created school to create a working force, a working class. Yeah. They didn't create a school to build a legacy class or a wealth class. Nah. If they taught everybody in school how to build wealth, then there'd be less wealth out there for the wealthy. You'd be giving them pieces of your pie. And everybody will understand stock strategy, option strategy, trading strategies. Everybody will understand syndications, commercial real estate strategies, creative financing strategies, all that, right? And so this is where, like you said, this is where the game. This will be break right here. This is the breakout right here. So we talked about the corporate trap. We talked about the college trap. And guys, remember, free class this Saturday coming up April 4th, crisisclass.com. If you're having any issues with the site, just write it down. It should be working. It'll be up. Might be a bunch of y'all going at one time.
Don't panic. Don't panic.
Yeah, don't panic in the crisis. You know what I'm saying? Go to crisisclass.com this Saturday, April 4th, free class. So, King, let's talk about the good old-fashioned corner trap, man, for those who may just be caught in a lifestyle where, whether they're actually in the trap or not, they got that trap mindset. They got that blow money fast mindset. They got that I'm gonna live every day like my last mindset. They got, like, you know what I mean, that whole mindset. What can stocks do? You kind of mentioned some of it earlier, but I know you got some more game for us. That's what I love too. We both so deep in knowledge and game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, throw anything at me, it doesn't even matter. You know
It's love. It's love.
I know what I know. So so what could those you know, and this is a good part too, I say to my audience and to everybody tapped in. It's like, don't always think linear or like just one approach. Like, okay, I'm not a trapper, so this can't be no good for me. What about the person in your family that is? Or what about the person that you might meet that is? Or the young king that's 15 in the hood that you might have an opportunity to mentor? What value do you have to offer him? So even if you're not learning this perspective for you, just getting good information and good food, you know what I'm saying, to be able to water your wealth is super critical. So what would we say is some strategy or at least some motivation for why those caught in the corner trap want to hear what we got to say on the stock side, and I'll touch on the real estate side.
So like, this is my bread and butter right here, right?
Yeah,
we Wallstreet Chapter for a reason, you hear me? Yeah. So what I love about, and there's nothing against nobody else, but what I love about the trapper, the hustling mindset is you already have the business mindset in you. The great thing about the stock market is it's already a bunch of businesses. That's all it is. It's a bunch of businesses. So what happens for me, how it was so easy for me to make the transition realistically was the stock market resembled what I did in the streets. Who has the best product? Who are the customers? That's the first and foremost. Who has the best product?
Right.
How do they relate to their customers? How do they get their product to their customers? Right? So we understood that. So from the trap, all you looking at now is, and this is how the stock market works. Who are the biggest dope boys? Right? Who has the biggest pack? Who has the best work? And you see that by just saying, okay, if you think about a company name, does that company name ring a bell to you? What it do? So let me give you an example. If you think about Home Depot, the first thing you think about is home improvement, things like that, right? Boom, leader of an industry, right? When you think about Nike, boom, leader of an industry, right? So this is a big company that has what I like to call lifetime customers, right? So one thing, if you're in the streets, check this out. On the 1st and the 3rd, sometimes the 15th, without a doubt who getting their check, when they getting their check, and who they coming.
Hey, Trip.
They're coming to you. You got lifetime customers. them the same customers, you know, they can get it from you on credit because you know they money good. So what you're going to look at in the streets is before you even try to go deep, this is the thing, you don't even got to go deep. You ain't even got to go try to find these miracle companies. You can look right here and say, what companies do I know without a doubt that has lifetime customers? Apple, lifetime customers. People ain't going nowhere, right?
Yeah.
You know, ain't going nowhere. So this is what we looking for. We taking the same mindset. We taking the same analogy and say, who got the biggest trap house? Who got the biggest trap house, family? Who trap house always jumping? No
I'm
water
bet on
whip,
them.
you know what I'm saying? No water whip, no isotol, no B12, right? What I mean by that is, so even though Nike is booming, you know Nike the big dog, but if you look at Adidas, you're like, well, you know, this shit water whip sometimes. For every 10 pair they drop, they may drop one pair of cool tennis. But for Nike, every 10 pair they drop, 6 of them joints going boom, boom. They got the biggest trap house. That's what we going with. Like, it's simple, fam. We use the same analogy. We use the same analogy. We ready for it. So when it come to breaking down the business, you looking at one thing. Like, who, when you set your trap house up, I don't know if some of them probably ain't never had it, but how much money is coming in compared to how much money going out? So check this out. If I score a pack, when I re-up, that ain't, the re-up money is not everything I brought in. The re-up money is everything I spent. The re-up money comes first, and what I spent last, that's what I'm working with. So who can re-up the best? Like, after they do everything, after they pay their bills, after they do advertising, who got re-up money? Who got re-up money? Right? This is what we looking at. It ain't that hard.
Right.
It ain't that hard.
Who got that net profit? Yeah.
It was simple. Profit loss statements. We looking at that assets and liabilities. By the time I take the bags, by the time I take the scale, by the time I take the other stuff, once I take that all it out the way, what I got left for a profit, the first thing I do is get the re-up money. Before I even look at a profit, I got the re-up money. So you're looking at a business who always got re-up money. Straight up. Like, it's not hard. Only thing what happened was they took the terminologies and they put it in a way that we didn't understand. Because if Jay start talking about some real estate stuff that I'm like, man, I don't even know what that is. Jay, you gotta talk to me in dope boy talk. You know what I'm saying? And then when you sit, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that is.
Right, so you're a translator.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You just be, you know, we learn how to translate the information. And for me, it was saying, okay, this is that. This is that. Okay, this is like consignment. Okay, cool. This points on a pack. Oh, okay, I know what that is. You know what I'm saying? So that's all we doing. Finally, we take that same. So for all hustle, I want to tell you, for trappers, and I ain't singling nobody out in any kind of trap, you know, when we talk a corner trap here, the same knowledge that you have, that you learn how to hustle, because nobody taught you how to hustle. You witnessed the game. You got a first-hand experience. You are you brave. You willing to take chances. So if you're willing to take chances on your life every day, this is how I looked at it too. If I was willing to take a chance on my life every day and all I can lose here was a little money, I would take this over that any day. Any day. Because my life ain't on the line right here. It's just a little money. Thanks. It's just a little money. So for trappers, man, I want to see that, man, the stock market is equivalent, and it's the mirror image of the trap, family. They just got different words, man. My God, blow is good, family. Yeah, man, for sure, man. So that's what I would say, man.
Yeah, I feel the same way when it comes to the real estate game. I look at like the houses are just another product. That's it. And it just depends on who you want to be to the product. Like, you could be what they call wholesaling real estate, and that's just basically where you middleman in it. You could be the guy that get points in between, right? If you find a house that you could flip or find a house that has good rental income, you don't, choose to participate as an actual investor in the property. You could still contract that property. You could still control the deal, and you could middleman it, ship it off to somebody else, put a little more on top of what you got it for. So you got the house. You got the house on the contract for 80. You know that it'll go for 87. You toss somebody else 87, get your 7 on top. You made your money. You ain't have to even buy nothing. You just put your points on, right?
Points on the pack.
That's it. Points on the pack. You know what I'm saying? Oldest hustle in the book. You know what I mean?
It's a fact.
Right.
It's a fact.
Now, there might be cost to that. Even with putting points on the pack, you might got to make sure that the transporter paid. You might got to make sure that they get weighed out properly. You might got some travel costs, some shipping costs, whatever it is. But that's your cost, right? Even as somebody that's wholesaling, you might got to pay for a little marketing. You might got to pay for the closing costs. You might got to pay for an attorney or a contract. That's just your cost in your operation. Some people want to level it up from just being a middleman or middlewoman, and they want to actually
be the plug.
They want to be the plug. You feel me? And I think, like, to your point, and we're going to get to some more of this game Saturday again, free class, crisisclass.com. The same way you look at how you said, if I could risk my freedom every day, there's no problem in risking a little bit of money. That's the biggest consequence, a little bit of money, other than my life and my freedom. Right. So that's why I'm such a big component of what we call using TBM or the bank's money or OPM, or other people's money, is because at the end of the day, when you get nice at financing, so people like don't understand that there's different parts of real estate. So you got guys or gals that could be good with construction and flipping and this and that and all that. I've mastered from 22 the art of financing, right? In real estate. That's the money. If you understand how to control the money, you can control any transaction, any deal. And so the cool part about the money and the credit, so the credit can always give you access to the money. And there's four kind of credit out there. I'm gonna bust it down for y'all this Saturday, free game, crisisclass.com. There's four kind of credit out there. So you understand the four mechanisms of credit, and then you understand. So this is why I used to tell my homies, when I first got into real estate and I was doing mortgages, I was managing mortgage companies, I was closing out loans, financing, and I was a landlord, and I was an investor, and I was a realtor, right? All at the same time. And so I would try to get my boys in the game, like, yo, King, you know that with a 620 credit score, you get 100% financing, right? Or even down to a 580 sometimes, right? Like, yo, you don't even need a big credit score, right? State of income, these kind of different loans. And then I remember them coming back like, yeah, but if the deal don't work out, then it might mess my credit up. I'm like, bro, you selling ounces of dope every day. Right. So you worry about your credit getting messed up because of your credit, with a real estate flip, but you just sent your girl to the city to get 9 ounces. You know what I'm saying? You risking your life, your freedom, and money. So the cool part, we get into the leverage game, right? And we understand that world opens up at that 230 trillion out there of debt that's out there in the world, as opposed to the 50 trillion of cash, coins, and currency. That 230 trillion of debt that's in the world that we can access just leveraging paper. See, credit was a paper game made up by the wealthy to allow them to not use their own paper, but to use this new paper to be able to get some more paper without the risk to their own paper. So when we get nice on a credit game and a financing game, and then understanding how to evaluate different kinds of real estate assets, whether it be wholesale, flip, residential real estate, commercial real estate, whatever, as we get nice with that, then we can start using the bank's money, and we got limited risk. So if something don't pan out, this is why I tell everybody, look, whether you got an $8,000 loan, an $80,000 loan, or an $80 million loan, if you default on a loan or your business crumbles or the corona happens and you can't pay the loan, whatever happens, and you got the bank's money out there, nobody's pulling up on you, ain't nobody shooting you, ain't nobody locking you up if you ain't did nothing wrong. The biggest consequence you got if you borrow the bank's money and you can't facilitate successfully a transaction, which we want you to. We're not saying for everybody to go lose, we want you to win, right? Because you want to have a good track record of usability so you can get more money. But if, God forbid, all hell broke loose and you cannot successfully complete a transaction, the bank is not running up in your crib. They're going to send you a letter in the mail. You're going to get a letter.
That's a fact.
I don't care if it's an $8 million loan, you'll get a letter in the mail saying, what can we do about this? Yeah. And so I just think it's a lot for us to open our minds up to for how we can beat the trap, understanding that this ain't you got a pack and a plug running up on you because you came short with the money. You ain't got to run up on the plug, man. you ain't even got to. You know what I'm saying? You can do good business, and if it don't go well, you got multiple options. And I think that in this climate right now, well, what I believe is going to happen with the real estate market, I think it's going to correct itself very, very soon. It has to. What we already see happening with the stock market, this is the most critical time that everyone could tap in and learn, and not just learn, but potentially master or get as nice as you can get with it from two of the best that teach this and translate and that do this. Right? This is a perfect time for y'all to learn real estate and stocks in your real life. Perfect time. That's a perfect time for your family, right? It's so free class, crisisclass.com. Tap in.
Tap in, man, for sure, man. Like Jay said, you know, this the best time. The people just gave you an extra 30 days that you're going to be on quarantine, sitting in your crib, right? There's no reason why you shouldn't be in this class Saturday, right? There's no reason why you shouldn't be sending this live out to 10, 15 people because you done learned a lot in the live already. So you should be pressing that little airplane and sending that live out too. So one of the things Jay said about leverage, right? King said leverage is so dope. Let me tell you what's crazy about the stock market. This is one of the reasons why it was invented, right? So this how they started leveraging, right? Because they leverage other people's money. This is what they did. They said, okay, this is what I don't want to do. I started a business, right? I got this business right? And then people say, okay, well, I don't want to get a bank loan because I got to pay that back, right? So no matter who you is, you don't like paying people back. It is what it is.
Right.
You pay them back because you want to keep your name good, but you like, man, I don't really want to pay that back. You feel me? Especially you done made your money. So this is what they did. What do I have to do to build my business and not pay the bank back? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what's called an IPO on the stock market. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my business. I'm going to go to this underwriter. I'm going to let the underwriter value my business, cut my business down into pieces, put them pieces on the stock market and say, listen, y'all, you can get a part of my business, a piece of my business for your money. Now, I'm not going to give you your money back. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pay you as my business grows from the business. So they leverage their business without even having to put no money up. That was the same thing King just said. The power of leverage. They said, okay, how much of your business you want to put on the stock market? I want to put, how much my business worth? 100 billion? Cool. Let me put 30 billion of it up on the stock market. Let's break it down into pieces. Let's break it down and let's issue them out. So now when I sell those shares, I get that money. Look, I'm not paying you back. But what I am going to do is give you a piece of ownership in my business. So when I give you a piece of my ownership, now since we know that ownership is the only way you can build wealth, right? Since you know that, see, the wealthy know this, the poor-minded people don't know this. So you think you got a lot of, see, the poor-minded people think if I work my ass off and then I save, then I'm going to be wealthy. You not knowing that the inflation going to bust your money up. So you in the bank using that money. So what he did was, I'm going to take this money, I'm going to take these 35 billion, issue it out in shares, give it to the people. I'm going to get the people money. I'm going to expand my business. I'm going to triple my wealth while adding to yours. It's a win-win situation for everybody.
Win-win.
I leverage your money. You build my business. We all win. We all good. And if I do it long enough, now I'm going to pay you some dividends. So now you getting equity and I'm going to shoot you some bread. So that's like me saying, Jay, give me the pack. Once I get this, I'm going to give you what you asked me for back. I'm going to give you a little interest, but because it came up, I'm going to toss you up something on the side. You're going to rock with that, man. Give me that. And you know what you're going to do now? You're going to keep doing business with me because I'm doing good business.
Yeah.
The same thing.
You know, somebody just said it. That's exactly what we did with the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. We did a non-traditional IPO where we offered shares of our company at $50 per share to say, yo, you want a piece of our company? It's $50 per share. Minimum 10 shares or $500 investment, but you have equity and ownership in this company, our entire real estate portfolio, and an opportunity for future distributions and dividends.
100%.
Right? At an 8% preferred return. So we was able to raise over $8.5 million from 9,700 investors without the stock market.
Salute that.
And be able to control our own economics and then go out there and fund other minority investors and developers and build more wealth and more assets.
Salute that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
salute
again,
that.
It's the leverage game. So all I'm teaching is my last 24 years of experience from extracting the game from the wealthy and coming back and bringing it to the village, like you said.
That's what we do, man. We take the knowledge, man. So I just want everybody to be in this class, man. Saturday, man. This was just a minor little dose, man. We're gonna really, we're gonna break some stuff down to y'all. We're gonna give it to y'all because it's time, man. It's time for the people to be fed, man.
And what I love about it, Bro King, is that me and you both do it. Like we do it.
See, this is the thing about college. Your teacher who teaches you business in college may not even own a business. The person who teaching you business in college may not even own a business. See, if you listen well, you hear the stock market on my TV right now. It's still on. I'm on it all day. I'm right on side of Jay as a real estate something somewhere. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do every day, all day, man. We live it, we breathe it, we sleep it, man. So it's no better way to get taught something or learn something from somebody who you know for sure do it all day, every day. You can come on my page right now. You're going to see 50 million posts about stocks all day, every day.
All day, every day. He on it. I know it. Love it, live it, breathe it.
Man.
I'm super excited. So the class is 1:30 p.m. Eastern, crisisclass.com. It's going to be the first of many.